what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to 4x your sales from YouTube. And that might sound like marketing talk, and you might be thinking, hang on a sec, Ed, that's nonsense. But I want to show you something, and also to give you kind of a time frame as to what to expect here. So I actually found something the other day. This is pretty cool. I found my spreadsheet tracking how much I was earning from YouTube back in 2020. And as you can see on screen right here, October 2020, I was making $957 a month. Let's go forward to that March, October 2021, about $1,000 a month. And what I was doing was I was selling stuff like random animations from the channel. I was doing little one-to-one calls, consulting. I was going on Upwork and pitching for business and using my channel to help convert. But if we then fast forward to March and we go to 2022, I was doing $28,000 a month from YouTube. If we go forward another year, I was doing $88,000 a month. If we go forward 2 years, March 2025, we hit $500,000. So, right? So we can 4x sales from YouTube, but it's going to be very different for everyone. So let me just show you what you're going to go through. So this is what I went through. We have the struggle zone to start off with, where we're just trying stuff and we're learning and we're putting out products and we're failing a lot. Then something takes off and we get the result of the struggle. The result of the struggle was, sorry, is my sound on? No, it sounds all right. Okay, the result of the struggle is where your hard work starts to pay off. And then we have the WTF zone, which is like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? So this is what everyone's going to kind of go through, right? So for me, what the struggle zone was, I was trying one-to-one calls, animations, low ticket, course, cohort, program, and then we find the thing that works and go all in on it. So just keep that in mind, because I'm going to go through channels now who have submitted themselves to this, and you're going to see a lot of them are in the struggle zone. All right. So let's start with our first contestant. This is Christian. And Christian wrote in, and he says he's an endurance cycling channel. He says, problem, how many people downloaded my free ebook, but I barely get any purchases and conversions afterwards. Overall, too few sales throughout the channel. So Christian has nicely diagnosed his problem. That's good. Once we have a problem, I'm pretty happy with that, because we can go and try and work out how to solve that problem, right? So what we do is we look at the problem, we say email good, sales bad, and then all we do when you're looking at your business and your channel is you ask why. And there's only really going to be a couple of reasons here. The first is they can't find the offer. The second is it's not of interest. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a game called Become the Buyer. And we're going to go on his channel and we're just going to do what a buyer might do to try and work out the answer to email good. Can they find his offer and is it of interest? All right. So first things first, let's jump onto his channel here. And imagine you're a buyer, right? What's one of the first things you're going to do? You're going to click a video and you're going to watch it and you're going to go, this was good. I wonder what this guy's got for me. Now, it's all in German. Let me just translate it to English. Okay, Bosch. So he's got this training plan shop for cyclists. So I'm going to click that. What on earth is that? Continue to destination. Why is Bitly doing this? All right. So that's your first offer. Let's look at another video. We're going to click. We're going to come along here. We're going to just click on this link. Okay, we got another offer. Let's just translate that to English whilst I'm doing this. Let's click on his next video. Let's go down here. What's he doing? Okay, that's the community again. So we've got that community. Is there anything else? I'm going to click on one more video. And we have got the ebook, which we've already opened, I believe. Nope, let's click on the ebook. So this is where he's getting all his emails from. Okay, so straight away we've got this, which I don't know what it is. I'm looking at it thinking $4.95. Is this even your product? Should you be promoting it? You're going to have to sell a lot of $4.95 to make a living off of this. So the next one is this, the fast cycling community. So hang on, sign up for the waitlist here, and I'll be the first to write you an email with all the information as soon as the community opens for the next members. All right, so there's no information as to what this is about, just a sign up form, and we got a waitlist. So a waitlist works if you have a ton of demand. So I have like thousands of people apply to my thing, and we can do a waitlist because we have thousands of people waiting, right? So my first question to you is, if you want to make more sales, do you need a waitlist? And the answer might not be no. If not, we need to turn this into like an evergreen sales page. But let's just keep going. So the next thing people look at is this. This is always going to be in your top 3 links clicked. This is where you make a lot of by making sure this is optimized, right? So we got our community, which you've already pushed, we've got the ebook, and then we've got this back pain. Let's just have a quick look at this. Right, we've got a back pain course now as well. What else have we got here? Something else? All right, hopefully you guys can start to see the problem. What is this? Okay, there's another offer. Right, so the reason you can't make sales from your channel is because you're doing far too much. If you want to succeed on YouTube, right, the first thing you need to do is find one product that works rather than have multiple offers. Because if we start bolting loads of offers on, we're going to confuse the audience. Like, what does this guy do? There's so many different things I can click on. I don't know what to buy. It's all kind of unstructured. So that's the first thing. We really need to just simplify down your offer a ton. And I think looking at it, you're here in the struggle zone. Like me. Okay, so to me, it looks like you're in the struggle zone. And you've got too many things going on, but we've not made one thing successful yet. So we need to go and make one thing work before you bolt on more. So I'm going to give you a strategy that I think you should try. Now, based on what I saw on your channel, you kept pushing people towards this waitlist for this community. So it sounds like that is the thing you maybe want to push and do more of. So what I'd recommend for you is you do this. The first thing is you improve this community page, because if you want to build a waitlist, if you want to sell something, especially if you want to build a waitlist, you need to build hype. So one of the things I do a lot is talk about how many people are on my waitlist, and I email my list to let people know that it's sold out, within a couple of days, to try and get more people on it. Like, we need hype for a waitlist. It doesn't really work without one. Otherwise, why are people waiting, right? You also need a reason to have this waitlist. Like, I can't onboard infinite amount of people, so I have to have one because it gets too chaotic anyway, and I don't enjoy it. So that's the first thing. Do we need it? If not, build in a sales page that allows them to sign up straight away. Now, I can't go into like a detailed sales pitch, sales page tutorial right now, but what I'd suggest is you just come up with a very simple headline and a very simple subheadline that pitches the result. You fill this full of testimonials, and then you just beef out the video to start. Just do a very simple version. So once you've got this sales page, it doesn't have to be this like monster thing, just like a minimum viable thing that sets up the result. You want to start making videos, and there's only 2 links below them ever. Like, get rid of all these other stuff you have. Have your community sales page and make videos and talk about it in the video. So I will talk about the things we do inside my community. I talk about the things I'm building for them, the AI. I talk about the results they're getting. We need people to know this exists without it feeling like this hard sell. And then what you want to do is the second link is you just have the link to your ebook, which you've already told me is getting emails. That's good. That means we can progress here. But after that, after they've signed up, we're going to send them a welcome email that gives them the ebook, and then promote the community again. So just have PS at the end of the here's your ebook thing. If you're really serious about cycling faster, I've got something you're going to love. Click here just to let you know there's not many spaces left. Like, create some sort of FOMO around it, some sort of intrigue. So straight away, all roads lead to the community sales page. They either click below the video or they sign up to your ebook and then get a PS. Here's my community sales page. And then I went through your email, but I don't think I was in it long enough to see if you were going to email me like every day. Just come up with like a 3 to 5 max email, what we call nurture campaign. So the next day it emails them some value with a PS. By the way, if you really want to solve that thing I think you care about, check out nominee spaces. Then a couple of days later, send them some more value. Then on the third day, maybe send them a testimonial about something cool you're doing inside your community, someone you've helped, a breakdown. Then on the 4th day, just pitch a bit harder. By the way, not got many spaces left. Let me introduce this thing. And on the 5th day, send them one final promo. And what will happen then is, at the moment, you're not getting people to your offer in a systematized enough a way. And if we can build one real simple system, then we can optimize it, right? So what that means is we can look and go, do you know what? Lots of people are going into the email now. Lots of people are opening the emails. Lots of people are clicking the link, but no one's converting. That tells us we have a sales page problem. And then all our attention can go to the sales page to slightly improving that. And I think if we look at your channel, right, you are getting decent views, 3K, 3K, 2K. I generally look at the worst performing videos. And if your worst performing video is 2,500 views, that's a heck of a lot of people to push towards this offer. So that would be my advice to you, is just get rid of everything, have one thing, make that work, and then maybe bolt on other complexity. One more little bit of advice for you. You sent me your RevTrack data. And what I noticed here is this video here got a lot of clicks. So it got a lot of views, but you got a lot of clicks, and these are email signups. And you mentioned this is working well, right? So we've got 139 people into your email from this video here. So that's okay. We could do better. And I watched this video, got ChatGPT to translate it for me. But at the moment, what's happening is 1.18% of the people who watch this video click on your link. Convert from this click. And what we need to, 1.18% of people click on your link. And we need to get that up higher. Like, we want to be seeing 2 or 3% for an ebook or a lead magnet. My lead magnets, my record's 8%. So 8% of the viewers signed up for it, which is flipping insane, right? That's a huge amount of emails. Imagine if you had 8% here, right? You've suddenly got a ton more emails going into that system. So in this video here, you didn't ask until the 5th minute. Just make sure you introduce your ebook in the first 90 seconds, and you're going to flood this system with people. They're going to meet your offer. You're going to start making more sales, and then you can optimize it and move on from there. All right. So Amir, he's our next man. I love what Amir's doing. I'm excited to show you this. So he wrote in with his problem. I have a fairly new channel that's beginning to get some traction in recent months. And I'm finally starting to get a bead on who my viewers are and what they want most from me. Probably the biggest challenge is creating content fast enough. Lol, I feel you. YouTube videos, course content for my new community, creating landing pages, marketing, email series. Yeah, this is a huge problem, right? Who has the time? Now, let me just get up Amir's channel for you. So I'm going to show you what he does, but also just how amazing he's doing and how good a job he is of being scientific about this from a small channel. More people need to think a lot about this, right? So this is his channel, rope flow training, very niche. 1.8 thousand views in 2 days is pretty good. If we're looking at a niche business for a small channel with 900 subs, that's actually pretty exceptional, like good work. But the cool thing about what you've done is, right, you've said you're starting to get some traction, and you sent me in this data. So this video here, a rope flow move that makes beginners. Let's go back to it here. This video here, you got 34 clicks, 14 conversions, and you made $240. So $240 from this data, which says 700 views, that's like 30 cents a view you're making, which is really good, right? You're a small channel. But what I also loved about this is just how scientific you've been about it. But also, it's going to show you how minimum viable your marketing needs to be when you have an offer or something people want, and also when you make great content. So I'm just going to load up his funnel here, right? So he has this. In fact, I'll show you through his video here. We click on his video, we act like the viewer, and we go, cool. What's this? Join the VIP waitlist. That sounds interesting. Save 30%. I like that. So we've just watched a video that is about what this offer is also about. And it takes us to the worst sign-up page ever. But it doesn't matter, right? Because this has already got you 14 conversions. So 14 people have come into this waitlist. So that's the thing, right? If you make a really good video and then have a really strong call to action and send them to a page that's not really optimized for conversion, it can still work. And then what you did that was really smart was after they sign up, you take them here. So this is a wait list for a course that doesn't exist or is being built. And it says this: you're in, welcome to the Art of Flow and Early Access. When the course officially launches, you'll get an email with your exclusive 30 discount. But why wait? Click below to join now as a beta tester or beta and help shape the course. You'll get 60% off. Now, this is why you started making money. But the coolest thing about this is that the approach you're taking is so rare because you're actually trying to get people to test it before you launch it so you can make it better. To me, that says a heck of a lot about you as a creator. It's not, oh, I want to make as much money from something crap. It's I actually care about this. I want your feedback. And that made me rate you way higher because it's like, oh, this person wants to create something cool. So it's still a little bit clunky, all of this, and we could optimize the headline and probably make the copy more appealing. But at the end of the day, what you've done really well as a small channel is you've made money like very early before you even launched something. And that is almost unheard of. But also what I want to show you, now I don't know if you can hear this, but I'll play it. But what you did in your video was you did an intro, you did a hook, and then I'll play it and we'll see what happens.
They usually kind of hate the way their flow looks. And it's not just because they're beginners. The problem I've learned is that they haven't really learned how to find a...
Okay, it doesn't really play. So what I'm going to do is just explain it to you. You do this intro, you do this setup, and then you turn around and go, by the way, I'm building an entire course on this. And, you know, if you want to get involved with it and go deeper, check out the link below. And you did it in the first 90 seconds. So when we look at the data, it's like, oh, all you need to do as a small channel is make content that the viewers value and you get some views, tell them to check out the link, then have a kind of appealing call to action. And then even if you have a crappy sign-up page, you're still going to get people in. So I think you've done exceptionally well there. And I don't really have anything to roast. There are some things we can improve. But I think I kind of wanted to just show people what you've been doing. So this is the format that I teach, or I'm going to start teaching people. Come up with a minimum viable product, right? So if you're really overthinking this, you don't have to. Look, Amir has launched something that isn't even ready and is selling it before it's ready. It's genius. Then test it. So just post videos, share your link to your sign up, share your link to your email, then see what happens. Do we get sign-ups already? Don't we? What can we improve? Then take those lessons into the next version of the video or the sales page or the email. And that's basically what Amir is doing well. So if I was going to give you a little format to follow here, what I would be thinking about is we could probably beef up your sales page because it's not the most appealing at the moment, the wait list, but it is working. So once this thing's launched, I would probably just leave it for now, you know, if it's working and getting people in. But once this thing's launched, I'd be thinking about, we need a sales page and the same thing as I just said before, one link to it below your video, pitch it in the video, talk about results people are getting in the video, and then do the same thing. That should say email sign up there. Drive them to your email sign up, put them through a bit of a nurture sequence, and make sure every single one sends them back. So we just create this circle of making content, introducing people to the offer, that we can then improve over time. So well done, Amir. I think you've done an amazing job there. And I think you've come at this at the perfect way. It's exactly what I would do if I was starting like from scratch. All right, so next we have Alex. And Alex is, let me find where he is. There's links in, people are asking about the software. There's links in the description if you want to check it out. Where's Alex gone? Did I save? Ah, yeah, we got Alex here. So let's fire him up. So Alex said his problem was getting consistent views on YouTube and consistent calls book. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the same process. We're just going to become the buyer. And let's just act like a buyer would, right? So I'm going on his page and I'm thinking, create your own AI album cover, all right? Composer reveals secrets behind iconic soundtracks. What disaster piece learned about 20 years? So we're kind of jumping around here. Let's click on most popular. Push 2, learn it in 20 minutes. So I'm guessing that's a bit of kit. Push 2. So you've built your channel on push 2, push 2, push 3, push 2, push 2. Let's have a look if you've done anything on push recently. Yeah, push 3. You're a push channel. as far as YouTube's concerned, you're getting all the views with push. So if you want more consistent views, you just make videos about push. Just go all in on that. So now let's have a look at the offer. So let's see what you've got below your links first, shall we? So we've got simple steps to take your song from start to finish. Download your free WordPress wizardry. Okay, so we've got an email. Let me just have a look at this. Sorry, we've got a lead magnet. From start to finish, create music you're proud of. There's some little testimonials. All right, what else are we pushing? Masterclass. Why finish 10 tracks in 84 days? All right, neither of these are about push. And remember, the majority of your audience cares about push. So that's going to whack your conversions down a ton because you're making things they're not necessarily as interested in. We've got 2 lead magnets. Why do we need 2? Just pick the one that converts the best and delete the other one. Because at the moment, you're driving them to 2 different places that are not your offer. And this is the thing about YouTube content. Like, it is, the whole point of it is it does all of the work that other people's marketing does. So people who have like ads and Instagram and stuff, they have to do so much more marketing. Every YouTube video is so powerful. You don't necessarily need to do as much work in the marketing. So I would just try driving them to a call. And this is your call booking page. And we've got, no. All right. So, book a call, and then you just hit me with a load of questions. Like, why, if you're struggling to get calls, why are you putting friction in the way? You're doing it the wrong way around. Give them the call booking page so you get that call, and then send them this stuff afterwards. If you read it and go, this is not the right fit, just refund them. But you're putting a ton of friction in the way here. Let me just see how, like, why am I being interrogated when I just want to buy your help? So hang on, I'm just going to blast some stuff in here. How many of these are there? I have the financial resource. Like, this is way too in depth, man. Just have a book a call thing. Okay, and then we've got this. So it looks like it's finished there. So you're putting way too many obstacles in the way. It's called optimization, right? You optimize for calls and you have as little friction as possible with the form. If you're getting so many call bookings, you need to pre-qualify more people and put more people off, then you put something like this in the way of it. But your problem's not that. Your problem is getting consistent views and consistent sales. So we got to get rid of all of that. Also, like, hang on a sec. Let me see if we got like a sales page here. So we do. I'm sure I saw it earlier. Okay. So bear me a sec. This is my channel About Us link. Like, this is the most important link you have on your channel. Since I set this up, it's nearly made me $300,000. People go here so much. And that means, right, we need to make sure that the journey after they've clicked it is good, because you're going to get a ton of clicks on this. So if you want calls, don't send them to this quest of picking a free community or a welcome conversation with, again, another headline here that has nothing to do with what most of your channel's built on. So we need a sales page or something very simple, or something that unpacks what the value of the call is. And then we've got this other distraction. There's this free school, and you got a lot of members in it, but we're in a similar place, right? Where we've got too many things going on. We just want to simplify it down again. The other thing you really have to consider is this. So I actually think that is a really strong headline. And if I look at your sales page, where music creation meets sound transformation, to me, you're saying here, I don't want to be a push 3 platform or a push 2 platform. I want to do something different. I don't want to be a tech review channel. And I totally get that. So what I would suggest to you is you need to make more stuff about finishing music. That looks like how you're positioning yourself. And actually, let's have a look at your channel, right? So struggling to finish your music, 656 views. That didn't do too bad. It's done better than some of these other ones that aren't push. Anything else about finishing music? So if your offer, and you just want to help people finish music and be productive, you need to get rid of all the push stuff and stop making it, because all you're doing is bringing an audience who don't care about your offer and they'll never book a call. What we need to do is build your channel around this one thing you can become known for. It's painful because you're going to have to hit the views, but then you'll build the system I showed you earlier to make it work. This is the best way of explaining this. I don't think people understand this, right? So imagine you walk past a shoe shop and you're like, I need a new pair of shoes. Perfect. And you walk in and the person there goes, hello, sir. And you say, oh, can you give me a pair of shoes, please? And they go, oh, sorry, sir. We only teach people how to walk further. And you say, but the shop window's full of shoes. It says for sale. Yes, sir. Yes, we don't do that anymore. We just want to help people walk further. You interested in that? They're gonna be like, no, I want a pair of shoes because the shop window had a pair of shoes in. So many YouTube channels, and I see this all the time. Your shop window is push, and your offer inside is not. So it's not going to work. So that's what you've got to get cracking down on. And your sales will slowly over time transform as you do that. But we can't make any sales if that's not right, let alone 4x them. So this is what I would say for you. Pick one avatar, one problem. Pick one offer to optimize. So your call. Now, call's a really good way of like making money on YouTube. It's how I started. You learn so much. Like I advise everyone do it just to get started. It's very easy to set up. You then make your videos around that avatar and problem, which to me sounds like helping people finish tracks and productivity in the music space. And you drive people to that sales page, which is about your call, helping people do the same thing. So your shop window and inside the store makes sense. And then we have the simple MVP email system where we do the same thing. Send them a welcome email once they've signed up to your lead magnet, which is super in line with the thing that you want to be, this. Make sure that afterwards they get a PS. Do you want to take this more seriously? And then just educate and sell here and then analyze the data after a while. So I'd also, the other question I guess I had is the school. Is what are you doing with the school? School's good, but it can be a bit of a distraction, especially a free one. Like free schools don't require you to do no work because no one's paid. If you want to make a really engaging community, like you need to turn up. I'm in my Discord with my clients 1 to 3 hours a day chatting with them. And I've been doing communities for years now. And I've never spent less than an hour a day really for 3-4 years, because it's really important that someone turns up to manage it. We have 7 people in mind all the time. Like it's got to be active. So if you have a free school, it can just bring in like a graveyard. If you've got it as a system where you're providing value or helping and then you're upselling to a call, that'll work. But it's a huge amount of work. So I would prefer you just, unless it was already working, you just did an email and then focus on making as much content around that problem and drive them in there. All right, let's try something different now. So this is Joel. So let's get up Joel. And Joel, by the way, if you're watching live, give us a little like. Only got 10 likes. How many of you are watching live? Let me come down there. 261 are watching live, and I've got 10 likes. Am I doing a bad job or something? I feel like we want to be getting at least 20, 25 based on how many are watching. Otherwise, that's just plain rude. All right. Maybe I'm doing a bad job. Okay. So Joel is up next. And what we're going to do is something very different. So let's go back to his channel. So Joel wrote in, no, that's not his channel, to say, where is he? He's here. Getting an early audience is his problem. So all my current leads come through outreach. It's slow and takes a lot of energy to convert each one. All right, so let's become the buyer again and see what's going on. So you want to convert more leads. You want to get the channel growing. This is a really common problem a lot of people go through. So I'm going to look at your channel and we're going to do a bit of digging. All right, so e-com, it's a very profitable niche. It's quite competitive though. Let's just have a look at your program. Fastest way to grow product business. Hang on a sec. Sorry, product business. That might be slightly, I know there's e-com and product business. Maybe they're the same thing. So let's just get rid of all this stuff. I'm going to go down to the bottom here. Okay, so we've got a product. It sounds like it's quite substantial. see if we've got any testimonials or anything we can harness. Okay, Joel, this is what I like. Partnerships with ASOS, ran 3 retail stores, ship products worldwide, worked with 100 startups as a marketing and growth lead. That's good. We've got something to harness because you're in a very competitive niche and there's a lot of people in this space who have achieved massive things. So we've got to find something to leverage. Otherwise, we're going to struggle to grow the channel. So there's things we could do with the thumbnail and title. But what I want to pull out is this intro. Now, I don't think I can play the audio through the... no, I've got it saved. Hang on a sec. So this is your intro for your video. I'm going to read it out because I can't play it through the stream. But this is going to stop you growing your channel quite a lot. So it's for this video here. And if we can fix this, we can get more views and we can get more people into your product, right? So the right way to launch your product business in 2025. I'm just going to read out your intro. You guys in the comments might want to hit up with some of the problems here. I'm just going to pretend to be Joel. So you're a product-based founder and you're trying to build a real business around that product or idea. This is for you. I've seen hundreds of business owners waste tens of thousands of pounds trying to get their business off the ground. And actually, I've been in the exact same position myself at the start of my career. You might be working a full-time job, juggling weekends, early mornings, late evenings, but you just want this business to take off so you can stop working for other people and you can live the exact life you want. By this point, you may have got some sales, but turning that into consistent revenue and actual money in your bank account, well, that's going to feel like jogging through water. So if it sounds like you, then here's what you need to get in this hit. Can you guys see the problem? Oh my God, so many words. Like you're a product-based founder. So it sounds like you've run ads, because this is how they always call people out in ads. It's like, you're a consultant making 10 grand a month. Like you're trying to hook them with who they are. I've seen hundreds of business owners waste tens of thousands of pounds. So there's just too much, right? So what we want to do is simplify. I've rewritten it for you, but we want to get in your credibility as fast as we can, because you need that in this niche, because you're going to be competing with John, who sold his ecom business for $1 billion, right? Or Jeff Bezos, who sold his ecom business for $1 billion. So I've rewritten it. Oh no, have I not rewritten it? Right, hang on a sec. Where did it go? I think I've got a copy of it somewhere. I might have done it on my phone this morning. I thought I did it on here. Yes, I got it here. Okay, let me read it off my phone. This is my intro for you. Let me write it down on the screen so you guys can see it. So, are you spending every spare minute? Actually, I'll just read it out to you. Are you spending every spare minute trying to get your product business off the ground, even though you're following all of the common advice online? 7 years ago, I was in the same position, but since then, I built a partnership with ASOS and multiple retail stores and helped over 100 startups successfully launch, generating millions. So in this video, I'm going to give you the exact system that helped all of them succeed, so you have a proven plan that will save you time and earn you more faster. So we've got in so much quicker. The first thing is I've set up a big problem they likely have, because everyone in business does. It's like time and money, right? So I've said, are you spending every spare minute trying to get your product business off the ground? They're going to be like, yes. And then I blame the common advice online by saying, even though you're following the common advice. And then I set up your credibility. 7 years ago, I was in the same position, which is relatable. But since then, I've built partnerships with ASOS. So a lot of people know that company. Run multiple retail stores, more credibility, and helped over 100 startups successfully launch and generate millions. Big result. You sound like the man. So in this video, I'm going to give you the exact system that helped all of them succeed, so you have a proven plan that will save you time. So I'm saying that I've done all this stuff. Now I'm going to show you it, and it's in a system, and you'll get a result faster. So we got to work on your intros, because it's like, it took 45 seconds for you to get to the bit where you say, so in this video, I'm going to show you this. And we need that down in like 5. Sorry, I didn't have it on the screen. I thought it was there. I don't know, it's gone. So that would be my suggestion to you. You've got the minimum viable sales page up, but we need to sort out the minimum viable channel right now. And we need to work on your videos. And we need to work on making sure you show why you're different to other people. And then just drive them to the market and you've already got. That's what I do. All right, next up we have TIFF. So TIFF has a new program. I'm growing my social media and YouTube presence, and I need to attract my ideal client, women 40 to 60, struggling with constant overwhelm due to ADHD. Let's go and be the buyer again. See what Tiff's got to show us. So that's Joel. Where's Tiff gone? There you are. So the first thing we do is we come on here and we'll look, what's the offer? So the channel is very clearly about ADHD. I could tell it straight away. We're going to come down here, get your ultimate anti-overwhelm blueprint. Take charge of your schedule. Anti-overwhelm blueprint, take charge of your schedule. It's not quite the same thing. As a result, I'd probably have eliminate overwhelm, organizing anything, and take charge of your schedule. It's then just tied your call to action together, and it reconfirms the thing that they've thought they clicked on. Okay, so we've got that. And then we've got, sorry, let me just have a look. It's just getting the channel off the ground. Okay, cool. So what else have we got here? Is this the link? Yes. So this is your offer. So first things first, don't link with a headline. Get rid of a menu. Like, we don't want a website below a YouTube video. We want a sales page for a very specific thing they clicked on. Otherwise, they're going, what's this? Hang on, what's this? What's this? Now, this might drive you to different parts of the page, but don't do that. Okay, then we've got this. I would say the page design is hard to follow. There's a lot of stuff going on. Just keep it simpler. There's a lot of information here. There's other things we can do. I guess the next question is tell me, okay, hang on. When you click these buttons, it's not taking you to the thing they want. It's like driving them down the page, and then we have book a free call. So look, just have a button to allow them to book a call. Don't take them on some sort of magical mystery tour. Every time they push a button, it drives them to a different part of the page. And then we've got the call here. All right, so let's go back to the channel. And there's one thing I really liked about your page, and it's this. I'm a neuroscience professor and mum of 2 with ADHD. A neuroscience professor, I don't know if you know this, but the word neuroscientist got 17 million views on this one, 280,000 views on this one, 700,000 views on this one. So I think it might not be quite right, or the direction you want to go in, but I'd maybe start thinking about using that in your title to harness it. Like, neuroscientist reveals how to beat ADHD overwhelm. Brackets, no one's talking about it. Like, you've got it here. Like, let's harness your credibility. Also, you're a professor. You've got 2 cool things to talk about. So professor reveals, but I think I'd try the neuroscience thing. Now, the other thing is we got to think about the avatar here. And you said they are 40 to 60. So they might not be interested in the neuroscience take. They might want a slightly softer approach. But let's look at the channel. And you're actually doing a great job. 900 subscribers, 500 views in your last, 900 views in your last, 800 views in your last. You don't generally get views like that as a small channel if you're not an expert on what you're talking about. Like, there's some thumbnail crimes, but I think what we're seeing here is you're already building a core audience because your baseline views is pretty strong. So that tells me you're going to be a legit credible, and obviously you are because you're a neuroscientist professor, superwoman. So I think what I would do if I was you is, let's have a look at the most popular. This is boring advice. Carry on. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're already making good progress. What I'd be doing is looking to repeat what works. So, hey, 5 habits I ditched at 40, game changing for ADHD. Maybe 5 something else I ditched at 40, game changer for ADHD. Also, another thing is, like, you told me your avatar is 40 to 60, and your top performing video is calling out the age. So I think I would call out the age. The number one way to actually be ADHD in your 40s, or 40 plus, like 3 ADHD lies keeping you stuck in survival mode in your 40s. Like, use that because it's clearly resonated, right? And you'll probably find there is a good audience there for your offer. Also, it's really in line with your backstory. You might find that they're mothers, that when they go on your sales page, they go, wow, this person's been through everything I've been through and more. How can they help me? But in terms of like a minimum viable sales page, it's the same sort of approach I recommend to everyone else. I drive traffic to it, build your email, this sort of thing, right? Get your link to your offer, tidy up that headline, get rid of those buttons that you click, put them through a very simple nurture funnel, and then just drive as much traffic at it, and then look at these data and say, what can I fix? Okay, we've got Alice next, who says, converting viewers into customers, maybe my offer, my class isn't the right price or what my viewers need. So what have we got going on here? I don't have the link. Bear with me one sec. I'm going to have to dive in and see what happened to that. Don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Oh, sorry, Alice. Oh, here we are. Got it. Perfect. Let's go back to sharing my screen again. Entire window. Okay, right. Okay. So this is Alice's channel. Converting viewers into customers. Maybe my offer, my class isn't the right price. No, it's not the price. It's never the price, or isn't what my viewers need. So people are very, very quick to say, I've made it too expensive. It's almost never that. It's usually because you haven't built enough value for them to go, that seems like a good deal to me. And there's lots of things that can do that. It's usually the sales page and the marketing. So don't blame your price. And actually, just remembered, it's not your price. It's some other things that I'm going to show you right now. So your problem is converting views into customers. Let's have a look. Let's become the buyer. Let's jump in and see what we got going on here. So the YouTube channel is kind of interesting. We've got the same video over and over again, which I like. It's good repeating what works. But if someone's not going to enjoy that sort of content, blasting 2 months worth of them maybe isn't the best idea. I'd maybe have mixed it up a little bit with other stuff. But if you've looked and you're like, this is converting like really well, then by all means, keep doing it. So same little test. Let's go up here. Newsletter, get the news tool. Dad's class. Too much here. One offer, an email. Get rid of your Instagram as well. So this is the offer. All right. So with a viewer, we've watched a few videos. We're kind of thinking, how can I get some help here? And instantly we've got, hang on. You've hit me with a pop-up and I haven't even had a chance to read the page. Personalized support with bonus one-on-one. I don't know what any of this is. Like, we don't hit them with a pop-up straight away for, it's too confusing. I'd only just landed, right? So get rid of all this across the top. Just send them to a sales page. Courses. All right, this is confusing because you've sent me to this prepare your labor with Alice. Okay, that's good. Prepare your birth your way. Okay, that's good. Why choose birth toolbox? I don't know what birth toolbox is. Like, these headlines are hooks. They need to set up a result or a problem the viewer cares about. Are you concerned about, I was so concerned about giving birth until I realized this. It's not the best, right? And then we hook them so they want to read the thing below, which is what is the this. So at the moment, we've assumed that they know what this birth toolbox is. And then there's courses. So what you're doing is you're driving them to multiple courses. So now they've got to do they've got to do the education themselves. Like, they don't know what any of this is. So they've got the birth bundle. I don't know if I need that. We've got the birth toolbox online childbirth class. I don't know what that is or if I need it. And I've got supporting higher class for dads and partners. Like, what's the right one for me? So what we want to do is, you've got 3 offers, and we can probably make this manageable, but 3 is not optimum to start. It causes more confusion. So let's just assume we're going to work on this one. The sales page is really letting you down. First things first, you've got the price at the top. So remember what I said about people buy because it's the perceived value. Well, right now the perceived value is 0. I don't know what this is. I don't know anything about it. I don't know how it's going to help me. And you want £152. So people are just going to bounce. So we don't want the price right there. We need to drive them down the page so that they engulf tons of information to go, wow, this is exactly what I need. And actually, this doesn't tell us anything. Like, no one's going to read this. We need some killer headlines that hook them. And then they'll start to care about this. We've got some testimonials down here. You've got your value stack here, which is basically saying this is how much it is worth. But that's where you reveal the price. Because you're saying, look, this is worth £1,000 and it's only 150 for you. But having the price at the top is just going to kill your conversions there. So the reason you're not converting is, and sorry, I couldn't rebuild this, is that the sales page is very much letting you down. And what I would do is you need to go and find someone who's got a similar course, who's smashing it, or someone in a similar niche who you know is doing very well. And the easiest thing to do is just take their sales page and just start outlining it. Like make it your own, like follow the structure. Lots of people do it to mine. They just, like if you want a sales page structure, just use mine. Come up with a similar headline, subheadline like this. Have a video, have a testimonial. Does this sound like you? Then a story where you say, I was in your position once and then I'm no longer in it. Show some results or testimonials. Hang on a sec. And then set up, there's this new way of doing it. This is the best system now. More testimonials. Introducing my birth control box. I keep calling it bird box, by the way. I hope I didn't. And then you unpack, okay, these are the things inside. More testimonials. More testimonials. I mean, you might not have as many testimonials. That's okay. We don't need as many. And then just keep building the value. So they get to the bottom and go, this is going to cost me like $3,000. And they go, wow, it's only £150. That's crazy. So lots of people mimic my sales page. I'd probably just use that as an example to start and try and make your own version of it. And I think you're going to find conversions go up. And then when you're making a video, this video here is about 25 weeks pregnant, what to expect. So what I'd probably be doing is thinking, all right, I've got 3 courses. What's the most relevant to the one they're watching? And it's maybe this one. Put that as the top link and then drive them as another link to a lead magnet, which sends them through a nurture, which sends them to the same place anyway. And then if you want your other ones, you can put them down here. But really, we want to make this as simple as possible. So they go, this video solves the problem I care about. Oh, look, this link seems to be telling me to go somewhere else that might solve the problem I care about. Oh, look, this course solves a problem I care about. Oh, wow, it's amazing value. And then they buy. So that's what you need to do, Alice. It's not the price. It's the value you're not building in your offer and the way that you're driving people. All right. I finished. The most underwhelming ending ever. If you want to fire in some questions, I'll try to take a few. But generally what I find is when people submit stuff, and there's a link at the top. Hang on a sec, I'll put it. If you want to, I email this to my list. And by the way, when you sign up to my email list, guess where it drives you? Straight to my offer, and you'll get an email that says, welcome. By the way, I've got this thing. You can just go through the process I've been teaching you, and it works so well. It's not that complicated either, compared to a lot of the things you get taught. If you want to do the next one, I'll just whack this in there. I'll put the comments in there. Okay, that'll take you to my email, and you can submit. What if 2 products are converting well? Do you combine them? No, that's a good question. So if something works, leave it. So my sales page at the moment isn't good, but it's converting. And I haven't touched it for a year because it's helped generate so much income. So I will change it at some point, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now you could look at it and think, we could combine them into a bundle or something, and that would be a test. So you need to think of everything as a test, right? So you could say, right, well, we're going to bundle these 2 things into one offer, and then we need to drive some traffic at it. We need to send it to our email. We need to drive some traffic from YouTube and see what happens. And if you go, that actually is a better offer now, you've leveled up. But you might turn around and go, let's keep doing the same thing. But it's pretty rare that having multiple things is better than having one, because then you only have one funnel to optimize and fix. And that's how you'll get the 4x gains. When you're trying to optimize 3 things at once, it's just like impossible to do. So I went from having 4 products to 1, and that's when my income went, because I just have one thing to try and make as good as possible now. I always worry that the product I've created isn't actually that compelling. Yeah, I think that's probably a bit of imposter syndrome, Lewis. Also, you launched a product with me and it made loads. so it probably was compelling, right? So the way that you can get around that fear is Just looking at the data, if it's selling, it's compelling. Oh, maybe that should be my new slogan. If it's not, it's not. Oh, that rhymes as well. What's going on? I'm a poet. So look, don't worry if it's selling and doing well. But when you get into a position like you, where you've got an offer and you've been driving traffic at it a while, it just becomes this game of what's working, are sales going up, are sales going down? If not, asking why. And then you look, okay, maybe we need to drive more traffic to the page. Maybe we need to update the sales page. Maybe we need more testimonials. So you can make your offer compelling. If people are buying it, that's usually a good sign. So the next product you made. Okay, so if the next product you made wasn't as good or sales weren't as strong, the positioning of the offer might have been something that they weren't interested in. So, for example, how in line was the offer with what your channel does? That's usually the first thing I'd look at. If it does flop hard, I don't know how much it flopped, but if it flops hard, it's usually, do they think I'm credible for the thing that I'm talking about? How in line with the channel is it? How much of content have I made over the years that is super in line with that offer? That's the first thing to look at. And then next, you just look at the data. So you look at the launch campaign and you say, I fired an email at it. How many people opened it? How many people clicked? How many people went to the sales page? How many people converted? And if one of those numbers is bad, you have found the bottleneck that you then fix with the next email or the next push. But if it doesn't work, it's usually just telling us there's one or two things we need to fix. And we go again and keep driving traffic at it. Sorry, Alice, you turned up a bit late, but you were featured. Let's have a look what else we got here. Okay, Corey, sounds like one of the main theme tips is simplify, make it easy for you to solve the problem. Yeah, the simpler you make this, and it really is as simple as I'm saying, you have a channel that solves a problem, which is exactly the same problem your lead magnet solves, just in a slightly different way. It could be an ebook, which is exactly the same problem as your offer solves. And all people do is go, wow, the free stuff's really good. Oh, cool. There's something that goes deeper in an ebook. Maybe I'll read that. Wow, that ebook was amazing. Oh, they've got something even better that solves the same thing. So we don't need to dance around a lot. Everything's in line like that. It just works so much better. And the simpler we make this, the easier. And even just leaving a product link. I showed you earlier the example of call to action in the first 90 seconds to a product that's not even finished yet making sales. Like, that's how powerful this is if you keep it that simple. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, I have a chess channel, and I feel like high ticket coaching won't convert. Could you say a 19-month mass low ticket community is okay for chess? So there's never write off what's possible. That's what I've learned. So we've got a couple of guys in my program charging $25,000 plus for something you would just, it blew my mind when they told me. Like, they educated me because I looked and I was like, I never dreamed that someone in a niche that helped people with a hobby could charge so much. And it inspired a lot of people. So you're right. High ticket might not work for chess, but I would never, ever write it off, because if you're good and you make a load of content and you get a following and you build a lot of respect, you might start attracting semi-pros. You might start attracting retired people with a ton of money who love playing chess. Like, my dad loves playing bridge and he spends a lot of money on it, or he would spend a lot of money on it. So it's not a case of it's a blanket no. It's something that you can discover over time. So you can start with a 19-month mass low ticket community, and we all start somewhere, and it kind of is just important to start with one thing. But a community is just a huge amount of work. And for $19, you got to ask yourself, how much do I want to earn versus how much effort am I putting in? Because if you're working flat out for $19 a month, there's not many people in it, you're going to end up with a really tough job. So the thing I always advise people, if I could give you a roadmap of how to launch products, the first thing I would ever do is just to set up a Calendly, a very simple sales page with a couple of testimonials on it, and just a headline at the top. I help people win more chess games. Like, really simple. And then you charge for their time for a chat. That's the lowest setup. If no one books a call, you lose no time. Don't leave loads of spaces open. Just do a few hours a week, because that will actually create FOMO where people get in. rather than having your whole calendar open. And then think, right, I've got that. That can just get booked whenever. Now, why don't I just try and create something simple that solves a very specific problem? And this is one of the things Lewis did, I was talking about earlier. When I was helping people launch these very simple workshops, they just solved a very specific problem. It wasn't a massive course. And you could turn around and say, like, I'm going to teach them this specific move or specific strategy in chess, or the 3 strategies they need to win any game. And then just try promoting that. So it's not taking you a long time, and it provides a ton of value before you dive into something that is retainer-based and heavily work-based, because a community is always a ton of work to get it right. So that would be kind of my roadmap for you. And then I'd think, okay, let's move on to a community. And how much work and time and effort do I want to put into it, and how many people do I think I can get in? But I like to test the waters with simpler things. Always simple, 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 and then bolt on complexity as we learn. This is a good question. Mindy, how do you know whether you should do a lead magnet or offer as the first link in the description? So it's all testing. I keep using this word optimization. So you've got a few options. You'll look at some people. If you look at people in my niche who have been doing marketing for years, a lot of them just have one link to a lead magnet. That's it. You can't find their offer anywhere. They want as many people into the email, which makes a lot of sense because you get that email and then you can continue to market them for long term. It's worth a lot. So that's one option. The second option is what I do. I didn't want to get in the way of the Neanderthals, as I call them. If you've ever watched the video where I talk about buyer types, some people just want to throw money at you and they're like, I don't want to wait, I just want to buy. So I wanted to make sure that I had an offer where the people who just wanted to buy right away, who are hot, didn't have to go through any sort of email thing. They just buy. So those are the options I've always put. I have my offer, my email, and now RevTrack, my software. And each video I make, I just think, what's the thing I want to promote? So right now, if you look below this, there's a link to my, what have we got? I've put the top link as my program because I'm testing live streaming to see if I can build my waiting list. And then I'll make videos about if it works or not. But if I wanted to grow my email more from this, I would have that top. And really, I should have pitched my program in this. I forgot. Naughty. So you just look at the email of the video and think to yourself, what's the best option for this video based on what I'm talking about? And then just put that top. But you might get to a position where you go, do you know what? My email is so good at converting. Let's just put that there. And that's what a lot of the top marketers out there do. So it's just case by case for me, but I don't like having more than 2. I have 3 things now, which is one more than I'm comfortable with, but I wanted to do the software because it's fun. So I've added a bit of complexity to my life. Okay, so should you send people to the email list or a lead magnet? So I didn't have a lead magnet or an email nurture sequence, and I was still hitting 7 figures a year with literally just a link to my sales page and a link to my email sign up. And I just said, join my email, I'll send you weekly value. And 10,000 odd people joined it. And that was enough to get me to 7 figures. So you don't have to have a lead magnet. Now, if you want to speed things up, you want to bring one in. And ideally, you want to use that lead magnet in the video. So people look at it and go, oh, this is an amazing tool. I need it too. So that is I would say, if you're starting out, just send them to an email list with a compelling reason to join and have that there until you have a lead magnet ready. But you don't necessarily need one. However, I would advise you build one to get more conversions. Let's have a quick look here. I'll take one more question. Okay, let's go back to the chess community one. Has had 800 members for over a year. Okay, this is good. This is making decent living with it, but you're right. I could try, like I said. Okay, so if I'm glad you brought this up, right? Because this is an interesting positioning. Remember I had that graph at the start. So let's share my screen again. You've successfully done something that works. So you're making like $10,000 a month, let's say. And what that means is now we can go, well, what's the next thing? So you're in the result of the struggle. You're actually making money from YouTube. That's a great place to be in. So you've got a few options. The first and the simplest is just to put the price up and make it $39 a month or $29. And don't tell anyone, don't do anything. Just change it on the page, drive traffic at it, and see if it converts. If nothing changes and conversions stay the same, congratulations. You just doubled your future members. So that would be the first and the simplest thing. If conversions drop, you just knock it down a little bit until they even out again to refine your price. Because $19 sounds kind of cheap. And then you want to be thinking, right, well, I've got 800 members. That's a lot of people paying me. It's a huge amount of goodwill. What could I offer to those guys that may be something more substantial? And this is where, when someone said earlier about high ticket, actually, I can't remember if that was on this call or another one. Someone at some point today asked me about this. You can start thinking, oh, maybe I come up with something more substantial, like a program, a 90-day accelerator, a 30-day thing, a group coaching, where I turn around and go, look, I'm going to do this test. I'm going to help 10 people go from this point to this point. It's going to take 30 days. It's only $900. I've got limited spaces. Who's in? Who wants to try it with me? And I reckon within your 800 members who are paying, this is good. You're going to get some upsells. And then after that, it's the same process. Right, I charged $1,000. How do we get it to 3,000? What happens? Let's put it up a bit. Let's put it up to, say, 2,000. Run the same promotion. If people sign up at 2,000 and it's going well, we put it up until we find that price point that stops. So you could probably do it within chess. You just need to take a bit of a gamble. But the only really gamble is you try something, it doesn't work, and you learn. You're not going to lose any more money. The upside is you make a lot more and you build something cooler. So I think that's wicked. You got 800 members in the chess thing for over a year, which so they're loving it. To me, that is a sign of they're ready for something far bigger now. So that's what I'd be thinking about. Oh, okay. All right. I can have some dinner. Thanks, guys. Thanks for signing up. I'm going to try and do one of these every week for 3 weeks. So submit your links, hit subscribe, press like, do the engagement stuff. And I will see you hopefully next week. Thank you very much. I enjoyed that.